Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Frankie?
Fine. You?
Fine.
Hi, Jerry. How are you? Hi, Frankie.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you feeling today?
Good.
Excellent.
And you? Are you okay?
Better than ever. I'm better than ever.
Okay. It sounds good, but the situation is very delicate now. I understand.
Yes. The situation is terrible. I hope we be able to overcome this situation as fast as possible.
Yeah.
What you have to do, young people, is to stay home, right? Stay home. Be careful. Well, I think we can start our class. Now we are going to begin our class. So everybody is going to switch off the microphones, switch off the cameras, and concentrate in our class.
Sorry, teacher, for the interruption. Just, one student asked me if it's possible, if one of the students can put in the WhatsApp the homework correct. Like when you finish the homework, when you correct the homework, if someone has, like a photograph or a screenshot of the homework fixed it, if they can put it, in the WhatsApp, I would appreciate.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
because a student asked me if it's possible to do that.
Okay, George, I'll take care of that.
Thank you very much, teacher.
You're welcome, friend. Well, kids, let's go to reported speech. Oh my God, reported speech. That was the homework. Reported speech is something sometimes difficult because you have to take into consideration many little details. Many little details. The principal detail is the tense, because the tense is going to change. When the person spoke in present and you report, you have to transform the present into past. You have to transform the present continuous into past continuous. You have to transform the simple past into past perfect. Maybe you remember these details. If the sentence was in present perfect, now when you report, you have to use past perfect. If the person spoke in past perfect, there is nothing to do, friends. You have to report using again past perfect. If the person spoke in future using will, you report it using would. If the person spoke using would, there is nothing to do. You have to use would again, etc., etc. These are the principal changes. But we also study that there are other little elements that need to change also. For example, we study that now becomes then, today becomes that day, yesterday becomes the day before, the previous day, tomorrow becomes the next day, the following day, here becomes there, this becomes that, etc., etc. These are other little changes. And sometimes, my friends, it is difficult to keep all these little details in your mind. You have to be very careful with reported speech. Apart from that, reported speech functions in three different forms. When you report affirmative and negative sentences, when you report questions, and when you report petitions, commands, they work differently. Maybe you remember that in the case of the questions, if the question begins with an interrogative word, for example, why, when you report, you have to repeat why. But sometimes the question is very simple. The question begins with an auxiliary, do, does, did. In that case, you eliminate the auxiliary when you report, you eliminate do, did, does, and you use if. The other big group is when you have to report what someone asks you to do. Please open the door. Please bring me some coffee. Please don't speak in the library. See, the people are using the imperative form because they want you to do something or they want you not to do something. And when we report, if the petition is affirmative, you use to, the infinitive. For example, bring me some coffee. He asked me to bring him some coffee. See, to, infinitive. Sometimes the person wants you not to do something. For example, don't open the door, please. It's negative. Don't open the door. In that case, you report using not to. The teacher asked me not to open the door. That is what we studied in the previous class, and this is the topic of the homework. So let's check the homework and see if you were able of answering correctly the questions. Number one was come quickly. Who can report this petition? Come quickly. She what?
She asked me to come quickly.
Yes. Excellent. She asked me to come quickly. She told me to come quickly. Very good. Number two, did you arrive before 7? Who can report this question? Did you arrive before 7? Nobody? It is a question.
She asked me if I had arrived before at 7.
Before 7. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Before 7. That's okay. Thank you very much. Perfect. She asked me if I had arrived before 7. Observe number 3. Another question. The difference is that this question contains an interrogative word. How? How was your holiday? She. What is the answer? How was your holiday?
It's possible she has asked me how had been his holiday.
Yes, but the organization. She asked me how my holiday had been. Observe the position. How my holiday had been. Now, number 4. Number 4 was a problem in other classes because it is a conditional. See, it's complicated. I would have visited the hospital if I had known you were sick. Friends, here you can't change the tense, impossible. So you have to continue using would have visited, and you have to repeat had known, because you cannot change that. So the answer in number 4, which was a real problem in other classes, is she said she would have visited the hospital if she had known I was sick. Check it out. I repeat. She said she would have visited the hospital. You see, I changed nothing. Impossible to change would have visited. No hay nada más atrás que eso. So she said that she would have visited the hospital, comma, if she had known, I cannot change that. It's past perfect. If she had known I was sick. Number 5. I think this is easy. Don't touch.
She asked me not to touch.
Yes, you have a funny voice. Yes, she told me not to touch. Very good. Thank you, friend. 6. Do you usually cook at home? Do you usually cook at home? And you have to use she. Nobody?
She asked me if he usually cooked at home.
But not he, if I. Did you see that, Frankie? She asked me if I usually cooked at home. Okay.
I.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now let's go to 7. They had never been to Scotland until last year. Observe, my friends, that the sentence is in past perfect and you cannot modify that, right? What is the reported speech?
She said they had been to Scotland until last year.
Yes, but observe this. She said that she had never been.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, good, good. She said that she said that they had never been to Scotland until last year. Or until the year before. It's possible too, yes. 8, make sure you arrive early. And you have to use she. Make sure, asegúrate. Make sure you arrive early. She told me. Me dijo que llegara temprano. In English?
She told me to make sure I arrived early.
It's very simple. She told me to make sure to arrive. You see, to make sure.
Okay.
To arrive. Yes. If you want, you can eliminate to make sure. You can eliminate it. To make sure in Spanish is asegurarte que en realidad ella lo que quiere es que llegues temprano. So, si yo fuera tú, dejaría lo más sencillo. She told me to arrive early. Me dijo que llegara temprano. Number 9. I should have studied harder for the exam. I should have studied harder for the exam. Number 9. Esta persona nos ha dicho, yo debería haber estudiado más para el examen. Yo no puedo llevar eso más atrás, chicos, piénsenlo ni en español. Así que cuando reporto voy a usar la misma estructura, la misma. ¿Quién me la puede decir? La respuesta sería, she said that she should, porque should no lo puedo cambiar. Más atrás de should no hay nada. Should es el pasado de shall, pero no tiene más pasado. Entonces tengo que usar should. Y después de should, que es un modal, como todos los modales, piensen en will, would, can, could, may, might, piensen en los modales. El verbo que va después tiene que estar en forma simple, siempre. No se puede conjugar, no se puede poner S, ED, ING, nada, nada. Entonces no puedo tocar ese verbo, ¿comprenden? Tengo que dejarlo así. Y queda, estoy perdido. Ah, yes. She said that she should have studied harder for the exam. Check it out, friends. Remember, if you have any questions, something you don't understand, ask me, please. Let's go to number 10. Number 10 says, would you mind telling me how to get to the art gallery, please? Friends, this is a very polite way of asking something. Very polite, you know, very formal. Would you mind telling me? Oye, ¿te molestaría decirme? Would you mind telling me? Todo eso se va a donde mismo se va el please cuando reportamos. Al saco del olvido. Porque lo que en realidad quiere la persona es que le diga how to get to the art gallery. Cómo llegar a la galería de arte. Eso es lo que quiere saber la persona. So, who can report number 10?
If I wouldn't mind telling her how to get to the art gallery.
Yes, esa es una opción, pero un poco larga, ¿sabes? Me preocupa que en el examen siempre recuerden que tienen que usar entre 2 y 5 palabras. Me preocupa que pueda ser un poco largo. Hay otra manera más corta, aunque está bien. She asked me if I would mind telling her how to get to the art gallery. Me pidió que si a mí no me molestaría decirle, pero es demasiado empalagoso, ¿comprenden? No me imagino un español diciendo esto. Lo normal al reportar es que acortemos toda la cortesía y dejemos algo así como she asked me how to get to the art gallery, que es en realidad lo que me pidió. Ella me preguntó cómo llegar, how to get, cómo llegar, how to get to the art gallery. Quisiera que copiaran esta fórmula corta porque es la que más resuelve en el examen donde me exigen un número muy limitado de palabras, ¿ok? She asked me how to get to the art gallery. 11. Please don't forget my book. Please don't forget my book. El please se va a donde mismo se fue. Would you mind telling me? Ahí, al mismo sitio. Lo que me han pedido es que no me olvide de mi libro. No, de su libro, perdón, de él, my book, del libro de él. She, o de ella, es una chica, perdón. She, a volunteer.
She asked me not to forget her book.
Yes, excellent. She asked me not to forget her book. 12. Make sure you arrive at 6. En realidad, ¿qué fue lo que me dijo que hiciera yo?
She asked me to arrive at 6.
Yes.
6.
Yes, that's it, yes. She asked me to arrive at 6. She told me to arrive at 6. 13. Remember to study hard. Remember to study hard. She told me. Nobody. She told me to remember to study hard. She asked me to remember to study hard. 14. Where do you want to eat tonight? This is a question. Where do you want to eat tonight? She asked me.
Where I wanted to eat the previous night.
No, not the previous. That night. Remember, the previous night is yesterday, last night, for example. Pero tonight, esta noche, se convierte en aquella noche, that night. She asked me where I wanted to eat that night. Now, 15. I usually drink coffee in the mornings. She. Nobody. A volunteer for this one, please.
She said she usually drank coffee in the morning.
She said she usually drank coffee in the mornings. Yes, yes, very good. 16. Do you like studying English? Do you like studying English? It is in present. You have to use past.
She asked.
Studying English.
She asked me if I liked, in past, if I liked studying English. 17. I'll come and help you on Saturday. This is a sentence with will. We are going to change will for would. A volunteer for this.
She said that she would come and help you on Saturday.
She said that she would come and help me, I think it's me on Saturday. Yes, I'll come and help you. This, it must be me. 18. Please buy some bread on your way home. Please, you eliminate please, right? Please buy some bread on your way home. She asked me, and you have to use the infinitive. She asked me to buy some bread on my way home. She asked me to buy some bread on my way home. Number 19, please give this to John. How do you report 19?
She told me to give that to John.
Yes, very good. Very good. 20. Could you give me the glass on the table, please? Nobody? Could you give me the glass on the table, please? She asked me to give her, because it is a petition, affirmative. You use infinitive. She asked me to give her the glass on the table. Reported speech can be a serious problem. Let's go to the student's book, my friends. Let's go to the student's book. On page 89, exercise 5, maybe you can see it on the screen. Exercise 5. Can you see the page?
Yes.
Good. I refer to exercise number 5 for questions 1 to 6. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence using the word given. Don't change the word given. You must use between 2 and 5 words, including the word given. Let's see if you can do it. As soon as you finish, send me a little message. Claudia finished. George finished. Paula finished. Frankie Boy has finished. Good. Paula. I think we can check this exercise. Let's see. In number 1, for example. You really should see that film, Pablo, his friend said, and you have to use advised. Pablo's friend, what?
Advised to show that the film.
No, not exactly. Pablo's friend, and now you need to use the verb advised. Yes? Pablo's friend advised. Who can continue?
Advise
Yes.
him
Yes.
to see the film.
Yes, yes. Pablo's friend advised him to see the film. Very good. 2. Why don't we go swimming this afternoon, said Marie. And you have to use suggested. Marie suggested, logically, suggested. And after suggested, the verb suggest, we always use ing. You need to remember that. So Marie suggested what?
Going swimming afternoon.
That, no? That afternoon.
Yeah.
This afternoon, that afternoon. Correct. Marie suggested going swimming that afternoon. Number 3, don't leave the light on when you go to bed, my father said to me. And you have to use switched. My father, the light when I went to bed.
Told me to switch the light.
Aha, to switch on or to switch off? What do you think? To switch on, encenderlas, or to switch off, apagarlas?
To switch off.
Yes, perfect. My father told me to switch off the light when I went to bed. Number 4, don't forget to post the letter, Sylvia told Natasha. And you have to use reminded. Sylvia,
Sylvia reminded Natasha to post the letter.
excellent. Yes, yes. Sylvia reminded Natasha to post the letter. 5, you haven't been paying attention to me, our teacher told us. This, friends, was very difficult in the rest of the classes. I don't know if any one of you was able to do it. Our teacher accused us. We need to remember the characteristic of the verb accuse. Accuse is normally followed by the preposition of, accuse of, accuse of, accuse of. So our teacher accused us of what? Nobody? The answer is, our teacher accused us of not taking notice, of not taking any notice of him. In the space in blank, of not taking any. Because take notice is a synonym of pay attention. 6. I'll try as hard as I can to pass the exam, said Paula. And you have to use best. Paula promised.
I don't know.
Yes?
I don't know if it's good, because, but I put Paola promised to give the best of her to pass the exam.
To give the best of her to pass. Why not to give the best of her? Because we say that in Spanish, yes or no? Dar lo mejor de sí mismo. Yes. But in English, we prefer to say to do her best.
Okay.
Eso mismo lo decimos así en inglés. Es el mismo significado. Pero lo que solemos decir es, I'll do my best. Daré lo mejor que pueda. I'll do my best cuando se refiere a mí. En este caso que es de ella, to do her best. Paula promised to do her best to pass the exam. Questions. A veces al terminar me quedan dudas. ¿Dudas? Okay, thank you very much, friends. Let's go to page number 91. This one here. Page 91, speaking. This is the speaking part of Unit 8. And this page begins with photographs of students doing different activities. But if you observe carefully, they are not the regular subjects that we normally study in school. I'm not referring to history classes or geography or mathematics or philosophy. No. These are these kind of extracurricular activities, you know, like dancing, playing musical instruments. Other children love acting in plays in the theater. Other students prefer painting, etc., etc. This is speaking part 4. What is the meaning of this? The teacher are going to ask your opinion, and you have to give opinion as long as possible. Don't make short answers. Try to speak as much as possible. Don't worry that you are not going to speak during 3 minutes or nothing like that, because the reality is that in 25 seconds maximum, the teacher is going to interrupt you. But you have to speak. I mean, don't be short. Try to make it long. The question is, do you think that schools should teach subjects such as painting, photography, drama, dancing to the students? Yes or no? What's your opinion about this? Remember that I'm asking for your opinion, so you don't have to be an expert in extracurriculum classes or nothing like that. It's just talking about these kind of classes that some students like. Singing, dancing, acting in plays in the theater of the school, etc., etc. Opinions, friends?
I think yes, because the culture is very important in the world. So maybe in your childhood, if you taught subjects like drama or photography or dancing, your culture is improved. and you will be, I don't know, a better student, for example, if you like it.
Yes, yes, and maybe in your class, imagine that you are a child, you are studying primary school, imagine that. Maybe in your class you have 2 or 3 people that in the future will be famous photographers or famous singer. So the school needs to give these children the opportunity of developing their skills. And this is the topic of speaking part 4 here. I'm going to send you now, friends, an audio for you to listen. Let me send it to you. Give me a minute. Wait a second. Wait a second. Have you received it?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Well, this is connected with this conversation between the examiner, Antonia, and Peter here on page 91. Please listen to it. Good, Paula. Very good, George. Well, this is an example of how the people take this part of the exam. I mean, people say their opinion. Not always the opinion of the students are perfect or philosophical or nothing very serious, but it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you give your opinion, because this part, speaking part 4, is asking about opinion. And you have to give your opinion. If you go to page number 92, let's go to page 92, friends. We have more questions on page 92, and these are the questions that Cambridge is going to ask you in your speaking exam if Cambridge decides that Unit 8 is your unit for the exam. I refer to these exercises here, exercise 5, you see, exercise 5, read these questions, then decide which phrases in the box you could use in your answer to each question. Some phrases can be used for more than one answer. And question number 1. Do you think that all young people should learn to play a musical instrument? Do you think that all young people should learn to play a musical instrument? Why yes or why not? I would appreciate your opinion about this. Remember, we are practicing for the exam, so the ideal thing is that you speak. Do you think that all young people should learn to play a musical instrument?
Well, learn to play a musical instrument when you are young is difficult because not everybody have money to pay this instrument, so it's difficult to practice this this or that.
Yes, yes, that's your opinion. Very good. Yes, imagine that the boy or the girl wants to play the piano. Can you imagine that you have to buy a piano for the kid? It could be very expensive. Yes, I agree with you. Other opinions?
I I should learn to play a musical instrument because there are people who don't like the music, and I don't like play instrument.
Exactly, Frankie. That's my opinion too. It would be great, it would be fantastic that at the end of the academic year, all the students in the school could play something. Can you imagine that? We can form orchestras and bands and groups and etc. But it's not possible because music, like all arts, depend a lot on vocation. You need to get talent to be good at playing the guitar or playing the violin or playing the piano. Yes, you need talent and vocation. So not everybody can play a musical instrument. So it depends not only on the on the wish of the school, on the decision of the school, but also on the capability of the students. There are students that you will never teach to play the guitar or the violin or the accordion or the piano. Never, never. Do you want an example? Me. I tried to learn to play the guitar when I was young because my best friend was taking guitar lessons. So I wanted to be together with my best friend, but it was impossible because I didn't have vocation, I didn't have talent, so it was a disaster. So it is rather difficult, right? The problem is all. Do you think that all? No, all I think is rather impossible. And this is what you have to say in the exam if Cambridge asks you this question. Number 2, what things do young people learn from acting in plays? In primary school, teachers like taking children into the theater and taking acting lessons. Why? Why do you think it could be beneficial for children?
Because many people learn how to express their feelings, or have to dance, have to use their voice, have to be more creative, and I think that's important for children who are in school.
Yes, yes. And imagine imagine a boy or a girl who is very timid. Can you imagine? Is this kind of people who are afraid of speaking in front of other people. They are afraid of making mistakes. So the theater is perfect for these kids because they are forced to speak in public. So after speaking in public 3 or 4 times, they will overcome that reaction, right? And they, in the future, can you imagine when they become professionals? If you are not able to speak in public, you have a lot of limitations as a professional. So acting in plays in the theater helps timid boys and timid girls to overcome, remember, overcome, superar, to overcome these limitations, and this can help them to be better professional in the future. Besides, another student told me, and I think he was right, that when you are acting in plays, you have to memorize the dialogues, you have to memorize the conversations, and you are practicing your memory, which is going to be also very useful for you in the future. See that? So theater for young children is fantastic for 2 principal reasons. They learn how to speak in public and they improve their memories. Now, number 3. What are the advantages of seeing a film in the cinema instead of seeing a film on a television in your living room? Nobody? Remember that this is just your opinion. Maybe you agree or maybe you disagree. It doesn't matter.
I think it's not any advantages because in your home you can have a lot of food, for example, or you can maybe stop the film, and in the cinema you cannot do anything.
Yes. So
For example,
you don't agree with that, right?
yes,
You prefer watching your film comfortably in your living room,
yes,
near the fridge.
yes,
Okay, good. This can be a perfect answer in the exam, friends. This can be a good answer. You can also mention how expensive the cinema is nowadays, or not. The cinema is expensive for young students like you because you are not working, you don't have a salary, so you have to be careful with your money. Cinema can be very expensive, principally if you decide to eat at the cinema, because sometimes the soda that you drink and the chocolate that you eat is more expensive than the entrance to the cinema, friends. So you can mention that in the exam also, that cinema has no many advantages for young people because it is very expensive. Let's prepare for question 4. Should newspapers and magazines pay so much attention to singers and actors' lives and singers and actors' relationships? Why yes or why not? Your opinion about this. There are many magazines and many newspapers speaking about the famous people, the celebrities, the gossiping about their lives and romances and things. The question is, should newspaper publish these things or not? volunteer, please? Remember the importance of speaking, friends, is practicing oral speeches. Because if we don't speak, we don't develop the skills, the abilities of speaking. So try to make an effort.
I think I should newspaper and magazine pay more attention to singer because they can be more famous, and the people who now the actors and singers.
Very good, Frankie. Another opinion about this? Should we have so many magazines and newspapers dedicated to gossiping into the lives of the famous? Or do you think it's not adequate, or it's not correct? Another opinion, please. Come on, kids.
Go speak in English.
Yes, that's it. Come on, friends.
I don't know because I don't read any newspaper and any magazine, so I don't know if they pay so much attention to singers and actors.
Yes, no, I don't read many, kind of tabloids and magazines dedicated to the gossiping of the romances and scandals of the celebrities. But I know, because when I am at the supermarket, I see a lot of magazines dedicated to this topic, Maybe you have seen them. Lots and lots and lots of magazines dedicated to gossiping into their lives.
Yes, that's true.
What I think, friend, is that if they publish so many magazines and publication about this topic, is because there are people who buy the magazines. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. There are many people who likes reading this. So if there are people who buy the magazine, they continue publishing the magazine. And I want you to know, friends, that I have nothing against that. I don't know you, but I have nothing against that. If there are people who likes reading about the lives and about the romances and scandals of their favorite actors and singers, what's up? Nothing happens. Okay? So for me, that is not a real problem. The other question is 5. Which do you think is the purpose of television? To entertain the people or to educate the people? Interesting question. I think this is one of the most important questions in the group. Opinions about this? Your opinion, right?
I think both, because yes.
Good.
Because you can educate people, and in the same time you are educated them. For example, in the telediaries, you can learn about law, politics, economics, and also you are like entertaining people about the news.
Yes. I agree with you. I agree. I think that both aspects of television are important because, friends, I know to have a very sophisticated television that can educate everybody would be sensational. But I don't know you, my friends, sometimes I need some entertainment too. Sometimes what I want to see is an action movie to forget about the what? The boring life that sometimes we live. And in those moments, I go and select a film of action or a comedy or something that entertains me. But the reality is that some of the times I prefer watching a good documentary about history or about geography or about animals, which are very instructive. So the television has to provide the public all the options for the public to choose what they want to see. Do you agree with me, or do you have a different answer?
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes, friends, because not always we want to study. Let's be honest. There is a moment for everything. There are moments in which can you imagine? Huh? Can you imagine that you have to stay at home on Saturday evening because you cannot leave the house? You need to stay at home. And you begin watching Saturday evening an educational program. I can imagine that. I prefer something entertaining that makes me feel light, light, that make me forget about the coronavirus and all these problems. So both aspects of television are equally important, entertainment and education. The television has to provide the people both possibilities. Well, now, friends, thank you for your patience. Let's go to page number 96. 95, I'm sorry. Page 95 here. 95. This is it. Because we have to do something with the vocabulary of unit number 8. It says here, vocabulary exercise number 1. Choose the best word A, B, C, or D for each gap. For example, number 1. The flying display attracted about 50,000, and you have to select 50,000 public assistants, spectators, or audience. As the flying display, well, friends, flying display es esos espectáculos aéreos que en algunos países se dan, que se ven los aviones haciendo acrobacias. ¿Saben a qué me refiero? Es considerado un evento deportivo. Y si es un evento deportivo, what do we use? Public, assistants, spectators, or audience? Oh, you don't remember. You don't remember. You don't remember.
Spectator.
Yes, spectator is the correct answer. Please continue with the rest, right? Exercise 1, vocabulary, and when you finish, send me a little message to check the answers, friends. Okay, very good. You are finishing, very good. Let's check the answers, friends. The flying display attracted about 50,000 spectators despite the rain. Now, number 2, as a police officer, I get a lot of questions from members of the space in blank asking how to get to one place or another. So these are people, but not in a cultural event, not in a sport event, people in the streets. What is the answer? Public? Very good, friend. Letter B, public. Correct. 3, during the musical, this is a musical, this is a cultural event. During the musical, the blah, blah, blah clapped at the end of every single song.
Audience.
Yes, audience. Letter A. Very good. 4, British actress Amanda Hazlitt gave a superb space in blank as Lady Macbeth at the Globe Theatre last night.
Performance.
Yes, thank you, friend. Performance is the correct answer. 5, if you are interested in a career in space in blank, you must be prepared to work hard for little money. If you are interested in a career in
Acting.
yes, exactly. Here we need ing in acting. Yes. 6, that play is much better on the space in blank than in the film version. On the, and you have the preposition on.
Stage.
Yes, on the stage, which means theater. On the stage means theater. Vera is thinking of pursuing a, well, I don't know if you remember, but we studied the collocation of pursuing, and pursuing is always followed by only one word. Pursuing a
Career.
yes, yes, don't forget that, because in the exam they use it a lot. Pursuing a career in the music industry, correct. 8, it's more important to do a job you enjoy than one where you, space in blank, a lot of money. Earn is the only possibility here. Yes, earn a lot of money. Correct. Now, friends, grammar, exercise 2. Observe this exercise. This is the topic we studied in unit number 8. The connectors of contrast that maybe you remember. Complete each of the sentences below by writing a word or phrase from the box. In some cases, more than one answer may be possible. You can use the words and phrases more than once. And in the box, you have although, despite, even though, however, in spite of, whereas, and while. Let's see if you can do it right. Okay, Paula finished. Jorge finished. Yes. Okay, Frankie. Joanna, has you finished?
Yes.
Good. Let's check the answers. Well, in number one, what's your opinion, Joanna, in number one?
I think despite.
Despite? No, impossible despite. Because
Why?
you have the space in blank, you have Eva, which is the subject, wanted, which is the verb, and this is impossible with despite. Here you can use although Eva wanted to pursue a career, or even though Eva wanted to pursue a career in acting, she couldn't find a job. So in number one, friends, although or even though are the perfect choice. Frank, what about number two?
I put in spite of.
Yes, very good, Frank. In spite of or despite. Max gave a wonderful performance in the school concert despite his headache. In spite of his headache. Yes, correct. George, what about three?
Three, I think that is or while or whereas.
Yes, George, correct, correct. While Jason dreams of being a footballer, Eva wants to work in the theater. You can use while or whereas. And what about number four? What about number four, Paula?
Despite or in spite of.
Yes, yes, very good. Despite not being very talented, she became a highly successful Hollywood star. Correct. Five. What about five? Do you know, George?
Me, I think that is even thought.
Even though, no. Observe the characteristic. It is in the beginning of the second sentence, and then you have a comma. Who remembers this?
However,
Yes, however, it's perfect here because you have the period, el punto y seguido, and you have the comma. They spend millions of the film. No, they spend millions on the film, period, punto seguido. However, comma, not many people were interested in going to see it. Six. What about six? Opinions?
While
Yes, yes, while or the synonym whereas. Very good. I enjoy watching documentaries while my brother prefers soap operas. Yes. Or you can use whereas. I enjoy watching documentaries, whereas my brother prefers soap operas. Seven.
even though or although.
Yes, yes, perfect. Correct. He insisted on playing loud music although it was nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. Or he insisted on playing loud music even though it was nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. Correct. 8.
While.
While is the perfect answer. Yes. Or the synonym whereas. While or whereas. People of all ages go to rock concerts, while classical music concerts are mainly attended by people over 50. People of all ages go to rock concerts, whereas classical music concerts are mainly attended by people over 50. Very good. We don't have time to do exercise 3, so we are going to do it next class. Let's see our homework, friends. I need you to go to the workbook, please. Let's go to workbook, page 32. Can you see the page?
Yes.
Very good. Well, on page, what page is 32? On page 32 in your workbooks, you have 3 important exercises dealing with the reported speech. Exercise number 1, Anita asked her friends what they thought about a television program and wrote down what they told her. So the people
What
are
page, sorry?
32 in the workbook. Is the first page, you know, in Unit 8. The first page, Unit 8, Dream of the Stars.
Okay, perfect.
And then,
Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. The homework are exercises 1, 2, and 3, page 32 workbook. And we are going to check it next class. Okay? Is that clear?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect.
Thank you, friends, for the effort. Thank you for talking. Bye-bye, friends. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
The same to you.